Let's try again to return you to Mozambique. We're watching the developing story of that ongoing insurgency in the country's north, in the city of Palma, where over 100 people, in fact close to 200, are said to still be holed up in a hotel in the area from an insurgency by Al-Shabaab militants that began on Wednesday this week. Let's reconnect then with Zenaida Machado from Human Rights Watch. Zenaida, before we lost you were talking about how this has been violence that's gone on for years. It begs the question, why has the government not been able to bring it under control, even after we were reading roping in a private military company based in South Africa, Dyke Advisory Group?
I think what is going on in Mozambique is a process that has been around for the past 3 years, and it involves some failures in the strategy to fight these insurgents. It involves also some fears in exposing to the outside world the dimension of the problem itself. It also involves a government that sometimes wants to hide the misbehaving of their soldiers and the human rights abuse they are committing on the ground. But also there is an element of the government not knowing how to address the problem. And I think that has been more and more evident as we see, as the events ongoing. We can see that the government keeps being caught by surprise. And not just the government, but also the people of Cabo Delgado, as we have seen what is going on in Palma at the moment.
And there's been criticism today that this latest attack, as you're saying, speaks to a weakness, a failure, and perhaps a collapse in intelligence services, I beg your pardon, because you wonder why it is that a government would not have been able to foresee such a risk, especially in a region where tourists and other expats frequent so often.
I don't think tourists are still going to Palma. Most of the people that are in Palma are the residents themselves. People who are also fleeing from other villages that are under attack are now going or have been going to Palma in the past week. And then also there is a large number of expats that work for the gas project. I think what government needs to answer after this whole process is finished, and we hope it finishes soon, this drama that people are living currently in Palma, what it needs to explain, and it's how is it possible that a town that was considered relatively safe, where many people that were running away from other areas of conflict chose as a place to seek safety. How was it possible for such place to be invaded, raided by gunmen, and causing the kind of pain, drama that we are seeing in Palma for the past 3 days?
And we're reading today here in South Africa another media outlet, News 24, saying that it understands that President Cyril Ramaphosa will meet with our defense minister to discuss the situation in Palma or in the northern Mozambique as a whole. But that report, of course, has not been confirmed in a statement from our International Relations Department, which has only said that South Africa stands ready to assist the Mozambican government in pursuit of peace and security. Should South Africa become involved? And if it does, how should it become involved?
I think the involvement not only of South Africa, but the whole countries in the region is long overdue. It raises questions when Mozambique goes out and asks help from the European Union or accepts help from the US or Portugal before we see any concrete action from SADC. So the message we have to give is not just for South Africa alone, it's for the entire region. The issue of Islamist groups in northern Mozambique, it's in Mozambique at the moment, but the consequences will affect the region. So it's time the region sits down, creates a strategy on how to address not only the abuses of human rights against civilians, but also, and very important at this stage, the humanitarian crisis that this conflict is causing. How to help people, how to create conditions for people, once this conflict is over, to be able to go back to their origins, their areas of origin. But also more important, how to ask them to overcome the trauma of kidnapping, the trauma of watching their own families disappearing, being killed, being beheaded in front of them.
Zenaida Machado with Human Rights Watch speaking to us from Mozambique tonight. Thank you for your time.